ஆல் இண்டியா ரேடியோ செய்திக்கதம்பம். புதிய கண்டுபிடிப்புகளால் 2047 கனவு காணப்படும் இந்தியா என்ற தலைப்பிலான 3 நாள் கருத்தரங்கத்தின் தொடக்க விழா நேற்று நடைபெற்றது. இக்கருத்தரங்கில் கலந்து கொண்டு உரையாற்றினார் மத்திய நிர்வாக சீர்திருத்தம் மற்றும் பொதுமக்கள் குறைதீர்வுத்துறை செயலர் திரு வி. ஸ்ரீனிவாஸ். அவர் பேசுகையில்,
The DRPG had set up an advisory group at the level of the Honourable Minister and a working group at the level of Secretary DRPG. It was at this time that the IIT Madras had circulated the Shastra report on the work being undertaken at the research park by startups and innovators. DRPG IIT Madras interactions were constructive, and within a few days we could curate this massive event. We have participants from Nagaland, Jammu and Kashmir, Rajasthan, as also Kerala, and across India, officers have made it convenient to participate in this conference. We selected young officers working as Deputy Secretaries in the Government of India, District Collectors, who will be serving in 2047 and will benefit from this conference. Let me brief you about Vision India 2047. Now, the DRPG is amongst the ministries and departments that is formulating its Vision India 2047. India has a time-tested administrative system with adherence to rules, established norms, and elaborate structure and procedures for carrying out the functions of nation building and creation of an inclusive state. There are also empowered commissions, statutory boards, autonomous societies, where significant institutional capacities exist. And the permanent civil service has contributed significantly to continuity and evolution of the institutions. The principles of subsidiarity have been followed to decentralize the functions of the state and local governments. The union government has primarily focused on policy making and in core areas of defense, international relations, national security, education, health, infrastructure, social justice, and macroeconomic management. Policy analysis remains a critical function of the Central Secretariat, given the imperative need of providing high-quality policy advice to the apex levels of government. We did have the consultation meeting with sector specialists, which helped us understand the retrospective literature and the futuristic government plan. The consensus was that technology will play a critical part in any futuristic governance model of India, redefining citizen-government relations where technology is an enabler and citizen is the master. Governance would also be data-driven, in which evidence-based futuristic indices for benchmarking governance would be drawn up. In addition, the foundational and non-negotiable values of ethics and integrity, the quest for a Naitik Bharat, would remain very important. What is the futuristic map for governance? Personally, I have been associated with digital transformation since the launch of Digital India on July 1st, 2015. One of my projects, the digital transformation of AIMS, was incorporated in the launch that day, www.ors.gov.in. And today that website has reached more than 3 crore Indian citizens in terms of online patient appointments. Thereafter, I was associated with the Digital Rajastwa Mandal project of Rajasthan, which brought nearly 1,532 revenue courts of Rajasthan online, providing judgments, copies of judgments, copies of dates, cause lists available at Gram Panchayat level. The e-office and CP-Gram reforms have also been part of India's digital transformation journey. In many ways, transforming technologically obsolete institutions into digital institutions required a series of deep and coordinated process reforms, upskilling of workforce, and adoption of new technology that transforms institutions' operations to benefit millions of India's citizens. The focus in each of these digitization initiatives was simplifying the citizens' journey with government. The benefits of Aadhaar-enabled DBT in cash and kind have been well documented. Digital technology has brought scale and size to India's governance models, and in the coming years, this will be enhanced. Real-time delivery of services and doorstep delivery of services, modern-day governance lexicon. Bringing citizens and government closer using technology is an apt description of Vision India 2047. Significant benefits of disruptive technologies have been witnessed in governance. Blockchain and distributed ledger, 3D printing, advanced materials, nanomaterials, energy capture, storage and transmission, artificial intelligence and machine learning have been adopted into governance. These are amongst the 10 theme areas that have been identified for this conference, and I was fascinated by the way Professor Ashok had described each of these: energy and net zero, education, healthcare, assistive technologies, water, infrastructure, communication, transport and mobility, urbanization and housing, rural development and agriculture, fintech and inclusion, and information security, as also defense. Each of these sectoral specializations requires comprehensive policy making. But above all, what I saw was that there was an increasing need for enhancing our own skill base and also understanding the nuances of how to work in a technology world. It's not very easy for statist bureaucracies to transform the way we work, and our understanding of the working of IIT Madras has brought to us a new sphere of governance from which we have benefited immensely. To adopt the use of disruptive technologies, governments need to be flatter, agile, streamlined, tech-enabled, and single service windows need to be developed. So the major campaigns that we had undertaken included secretariat reforms, Swachhta campaigns, benchmarking of governance and services, redressal of public grievances, and improving service delivery, recognizing meritocracy and replication of good governance practices, each of which forms part of the good governance model. I'm often asked what has changed from 2014 to 21. The answer is e-governance has simplified the citizens' interface with government, bringing citizens and government closer. I've witnessed several of the government's e-governance models, not only in the central government but also in the states, like Ayushman Bharat, PM's Jan Arogya Yojana, Rail Madad, Jan Dhan Yojana, Aeronet, One Nation, One Ration Card, Passport Seva Kendras. We had Khanij Online of Chhattisgarh, the Digital Land of Uttar Pradesh, Antyodaya Saral of Haryana, Go Swift of Odisha, iStart of Rajasthan, which have benefited in bringing transparency and openness to government practices. In fact, when I joined DRPG, we had about 4 lakh files on e-office. Today we have 27 lakh files on e-office. E-office has enabled creation of paperless offices in the Central Secretariat and also enabled smooth functioning of the Secretariat during the pandemic. And the other area was CPgrams, where I saw massive scope for grievance redressal, and today we could redress nearly 33 lakh public grievances online, having more than 82,000 grievance officers mapped on CPgrams. So the size and scale of governance models has significantly changed. We had 3 major initiatives in 2021: the successful implementation of the special campaign for disposal of pending matters, the initiative for increasing efficiency in decision making, and the Good Governance Week, in which many of you participated. Each of these was implemented on digital platforms across thousands of government institutions. In fact, the government's initiative for increasing efficiency in decision making represents one of the most complicated and far-reaching administrative reforms witnessed in the Central Secretariat. It brought a silent reform in work culture, reduced hierarchies, and resulted in significant adoption of new technology. It has also enabled responsive communications and enhanced efficiency in processing of receipts. It is due to these reforms that the Central Secretariat work could progress very smoothly despite the pandemic.
இத்துடன் இன்றைய செய்திக் கதம்பம் நிறைவு பெறுகிறது.